And new details about what exactly happened on Sunday when a Secret Service agent thwarted an apparent assassination attempt against former President Trump. NTD's White House correspondent Iris Tao has more from the Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach.
New body cam footage showing the Sunday arrest of Ryan Wesley Routh as he was fleeing on the highway after a Secret Service agent spotted his rifle in the bushes near the Trump golf course here and opened fire. A sheriff says he was surprisingly calm and asked no questions when he was arrested.
His demeanor was relaxed. I honestly thought it looked like somebody that just left a church picnic.
The sheriff's office told us at a Monday press conference.
The security level at Mar-a-Lago is the highest it can possibly be now.
New court documents unsealed on Monday show that Rouse's phone was located near Trump's golf course here for nearly 12 hours. And that's from 2 a.m. on Sunday till about 1:30 p.m. on Sunday afternoon when his gun was spotted. He was charged on Monday with possessing a firearm as a convicted felon and with possessing a firearm with a serial number obliterated.
We need to get out of a reactive model and get to a readiness model. There could be another geopolitical event that could put the United States into a kinetic conflict. We are working with Congress to make sure that we get those for our training facility.
Meanwhile, we're getting to know more about the suspect. He said in court that he has a 25-year-old son, makes about $3,000 a month, but has zero funds. According to records, he has also criticized Trump on social media and expressed avid support for Ukraine.
We're going through media reports and public statements he made that he wanted to recruit Afghan soldiers and others to fight for Ukraine.
He also has had multiple run-ins with law enforcement, including a 2002 conviction for possessing a weapon of mass destruction. The charges he's facing right now are meant to keep him detained until a trial. That's as the FBI continues to investigate it as an attempted assassination. Meanwhile, former President Trump on Monday thanked Secret Service for a, quote, incredible job in keeping him safe. And Trump is expected to go ahead with all his campaign events scheduled for this week, including a virtual address on Monday night on cryptocurrency and a Tuesday town hall in the battleground state of Michigan. Reporting from West Palm Beach, Iris Tao, NTD News.
And former President Trump is planning to speak this evening live from Mar-a-Lago at 8 p.m. Eastern. That will be on X Spaces. And Vice President Kamala Harris, Governor Tim Walz, and other Democratic leaders are reacting to the news of a possible second attempt on former President Trump's life. NTD's Jason Blair reports.
Vice President Kamala Harris reacted to the news of the apparent assassination. She said, "I'm deeply disturbed by the possible assassination attempt of former President Trump today. As we gather the facts, I will be clear, I condemn political violence. We all must do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to more violence." Her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, posted, "Gwen and I are glad to hear that Donald Trump is safe. Violence has no place in our country. It's not who we are as a nation." While speaking at the 2024 National HBCU Week conference on Monday, President Biden commented on the incident.
"I commend the Secret Service for the expert handling of the situation, and the former president is protected from harm and the subject is in custody."
Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi posted, "There never is a place for political violence of any kind in America." Barack Obama shared Kamala Harris's statement on X. Appearing on Fox News Monday morning, former President Trump accused Biden and Harris of influencing the shooter. He said, "Their rhetoric is causing me to be shot at." And we're now 50 days out from Election Day. The Harris campaign is on its A New Way Forward tour. It's held events in Michigan, Virginia, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. And this Thursday, Harris is set to do a live stream event with Oprah Winfrey in Detroit, Michigan. Winfrey and the organization Win with Black Women are putting on the event. Reporting in Washington, D.C., Jason Blair, NTD News.
And the House's bipartisan task force investigating the first assassination attempt of former President Trump will receive a briefing from the Secret Service this week. Lawmakers now considering expanding the scope of that investigation. NTD's Washington correspondent Luis Martinez has more.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer confirmed via social media that he has already been briefed by the acting director of the U.S. Secret Service and highlighted in a tweet that there is no place in this country for political violence of any kind. The perpetrator must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Congress has a responsibility to ensure the Secret Service and all law enforcement have the resources they need to do their jobs. So as we continue the appropriations process, if the Secret Service is in need of more resources, we are prepared to providing.
The bipartisan task force in the House of Representatives will meet later this week with U.S. Secret Service Acting Director Ronald Rowe.
And I do have a lot of questions, and they largely surround about resources that the Secret Service has and whether or not they're being deployed appropriately, because it's simply unacceptable that anybody who's under the protection of the Secret Service is endangered.
Some lawmakers expressed their frustration that the gunman was able to get in position within shooting range of the former president.
The idea that they haven't changed the protocols and we're still giving him the same sort of protection in these outdoor areas is unacceptable.
House Republican Majority Whip Congressman Tom Emmer did not lay blame on the U.S. Secret Service, but did raise questions that law enforcement should answer quickly.
Both Republicans and Democrats, frankly, Americans, are very concerned that this is happening. But we just don't have enough facts yet. We don't know how he got there. We know he drove there, but where from? And how was this planned?
Lawmakers in the House Bipartisan Task Force expect to receive permission to expand the scope of their initial investigation to include the second attempted assassination against former President Donald Trump.
Well, I don't know that we've formally received the go-ahead that this is indeed an expansion of our scope of work, but I have to assume that it will be based on the response of the ranking member and the chair of the committee. I think we need to get official permission from the body to be able to do that, but it's my assumption that indeed we will be looking into this as we are already looking into the last incident in Pennsylvania.
The House Bipartisan Task Force will deliver its report on December 13th, while the White House's independent investigation is scheduled to deliver its initial report by the end of September. Reporting from Washington, D.C., Luis Eduardo Martinez, NTD News.
And in the wake of the second assassination attempt against former President Trump, can Americans set aside their political differences and unite as one country? NTD's Sam Wong was out at the National Mall in Washington, D.C. to hear straight from the American people.
I just say I'm not surprised that there was another attempt. I fear there's going to be more.
Just another nut out there trying to make history for himself.
That was messed up. Obviously, they're out to get him for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway. Trump 2024.
Somebody hates him enough to try it a second time. Kind of seems a little senseless, but, you know, I guess people are weird.
Political violence is the sure sign of the ruin of the country. You need to set aside animosity and animus and have a true marketplace of ideas.
So right now we're seeing a lot of the political leaders in this country, including Democrats, coming out condemning the acts of violence yesterday. So do you see the American people can get behind that message?
I sure hope they will. The difference between politics 50 years ago and politics now is that they had respect for each other, no matter what the party was. And it's just gone now.
Oh, absolutely they should. I mean, everyone should condemn that kind of violence.
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, we all came together during other situations like back in the day with Reagan. You know, everyone thought that was wrong, regardless of what side you were on.
Certainly. I mean, nobody on either side wants to see any harm come to Donald Trump or any president or past president.
I think it's great that they're condemning it now. I would love to hear them not classify him simply as a criminal. I don't think some of the previous remarks are helpful towards this climate. But if anybody has any hesitation.
A fast approaching deadline for TikTok to cut ties with the Chinese Communist regime. Otherwise, it will be banned in the United States. Today in a Washington, D.C. appeals court, TikTok is arguing against the policy. NTD's Melina Wisecup reports.
The Chinese Communist Party is controlling content that 200 million Americans are exposed to every day on TikTok. This is at the heart of the argument hashed out in a U.S. appeals court today.
The problem is that same data is extremely valuable to a foreign adversary trying to compromise the security of the United States, knowing what Americans' patterns are, who their contacts are, where they go, who they interact with.
China's ByteDance, which owns TikTok, has until January of next year to sell the app. Otherwise, TikTok will be removed from U.S. app stores. That's under a new law Congress created in April, pointing out national security concerns.
TikTok said its data will not be weaponized and has not been weaponized against American citizens. Again, false. Published reports have shown that TikTok data, geolocation data, has been used to surveil American journalists.
But rather than divesting from the Chinese regime, TikTok and ByteDance aim to have the law overturned, arguing it's an attack on free speech, an argument that left judges unimpressed.
Mere foreign ownership can't possibly be a justification because it would turn the First Amendment on its head. We have lots of publications that are owned by foreign entities, and to say your foreign ownership casts your First Amendment rights into doubt.
Many of your arguments want us to treat them like they're an agency. It's very strange. It's a very strange framework for thinking about our first branch of government.
As of now, over 30 U.S. states have blocked TikTok from being installed on U.S. government devices, while more than a dozen countries have banned or partially banned the app. Reporting from Washington, D.C., Melina Weiskup, NTD News.
Thank you for watching the Capitol Report. If you want to see our full broadcast, check us out at epochtv.com.